Holy shit, we have reached the code red breaking point of the Terry McLaurin versus Adam Peters contract saga. Wide receiver one, Terry McLaurin, has just officially requested a trade from the Washington Commanders. Lots to talk about, y'all. There is a lot to unpack here, and I have lots of opinions about this. Let's go. What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? Wish I had better news for y'all at around 7 o'clock, an hour before the first NFL preseason game of the year, the Hall of Fame game. But fuck that game. Terry McLaurin has just officially requested a trade from the Washington Commanders. It is official, and if you follow this channel, if you've been watching my content in the last Terry McLaurin update video I posted, I told you this is the next and last move for Terry McLaurin at this point. After the Cortland Sutton shoe dropped and after the asking price was clearly leaked from Adam Peters and company to Adam Schefter and Jeremy Fowler, etc., the last play for Terry, who has been showing up to hold in, rocking the same outfit, mixing it up with Buddy Baker after practice every day this week. This is the final play for Terry McLaurin. Terry believes he deserves top wide receiver pay. He does. I guess the team is offering him significantly less than that. I'm not sure what the minimum Terry McLaurin is willing to accept, but there has been no progress made in a Terry McLaurin trade. Per Adam Schefter, Adam Rossini, and Ari Meirov, there have been multiple teams that have contacted the Washington Commanders over the last several months trying to receive the services of Terry McLaurin, and the team has declined every time because it has no intention or interest of trading our number one receiver. We are trying to win a fucking Super Bowl this year. We are in contention mode. We don't have time to be losing Terry McLaurin, but this is the play. I've been telling you how the rollout works for these high-profile trade requests or high-profile contract situations. We've seen it with Myles Garrett. We've seen it with a lot of other guys. J.J. Watt threatened to request a trade. He didn't, but Myles Garrett requested a trade. Trey Hendrickson was like, trade me, do whatever you got to do. I just want my monies. Terry McLaurin is now using all of his leverage. The big joker is now on the table. And I threw out a stipulation on my last Terry video where I said, which one lays out the big joker first? If you know how to play spades, you know what I mean. Whoever puts down the big joker first. I said, and I tweeted it the other day. I said, which one of these announcements comes first? Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade, or Washington is now fielding offers for wide receiver one, Terry McLaurin, or Terry McLaurin signs a contract. And while we all wish it was number 3, we are very and drastically far away from number 3 right now. So the play was, who was going to jump out there first and throw up the Jaden Daniels to Noah Brown Hail Mary? And we now know it is Buddy Baker of Exclusive Sports Group, which is not that fucking exclusive because he has no clients of value other than Terry McLaurin there. No disrespect to Treshaun Wharton. But this thing is real now. It wasn't a distraction for real, with him showing up at the end of practice before, but now it officially becomes they're going to ask every motherfucker on this team about Terry requesting a trade every day until something or some sort of resolution is to come to light. Man, it is now getting real in the field, man. My boy Chef Cook Skinner, appreciate you for the $5 super chat donation. Call the Dolphins ASAP and see if they want to part with Tyreek Hill. Dolphins are tired of him anyway. I'd trade Terry quick for him. I mean, also a 30-year-old receiver, different type of receiver. Tyreek Hill is just a dickhead. Like, you know my view on dickheads, assholes, and pieces of shit culturally. the opposite of what we want here. You got to have a couple of those guys in the room, but I don't think a Terry for Tyreek Hill trade makes much sense. But one, I'm not at the point yet where I believe that this is an official trade request. I know what y'all about to say in the chat. Nigga, he just requested a trade. I know. I see it. You see it. We got almost 1,100 people in the chat right now who see it. Matter of fact, smash that like button while you're here. If you're not subscribed to this channel, click the subscription button. This is one of the best channels, realist, objective, honest fan forum channels on all of YouTube when it comes to the Washington Commanders. We are discussing the breaking news that Terry McLaurin has just requested a trade. I want y'all to know how much this shit means to me, to go live and to immediately react with y'all. I was on mile 4 of my 7-mile run on the treadmill today. I just stopped immediately because I got the message from my group chat and from the Commanders Kings saying, what we doing tonight, y'all? So if you follow the Commanders Kings, me, Louis T, Ed Oliver, Street Scores, Rico, we will be going live again after this. After this, we will be going live on the Commanders Kings channel so we can rehash this shit. Fuck the Hall of Fame game. We don't care about Hendon Hooker. We don't care about Kyle Allen, Washington football team legend. We don't care about Trey Lance. This is a pressing matter, and we have reached the D-Day phase of the Terry McLaurin contract saga. Appreciate you, Chef Skinner, for the super chat donation. My day one, my mod, my guy, Jern. I'm trying Swiss cheese, Buddy Baker, Slim. Buddy Baker, this novice ass, no client having ass, ballers HBO, opposite of super agent, is trying to cash out off of Terry McLaurin. I don't know if he got gambling debt. I don't know if he's trying to fund his own sports agency, but he is barking up a tree he's never climbed before. He's never shook it. He's never stood under the fucking tree for shade before. And he's trying to negotiate a somewhere between DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson type contract for a player that is 30, that will be 30 in the first month of this season. And guys, let's have the age conversation one more time. We discussed this ad nauseum on the Commanders Kings last night. Terry's extension would not begin till his age 31 season, meaning next offseason, because he's under contract for this last season here in DC. His final year making about 23 and some change. So the Cortland Sutton number. And if Jeremy Fowler, who I'm going to have on the channel in the next coming days, by the way, says that Washington's offering only a little bit over $23 million, let's break down the context of this age thing with Terry McLaurin. Adam Peters is not trying to be the first NFL general manager to give a 30-year-old wide receiver upper echelon, top tier, top 5, 7, 9 wide receiver money. He's not trying to be the first. He's not trying to set the precedent. You've seen some of the black eyes that the NFL has had. What did the landscape look like after Deshaun Watson, the massage maniac menace of Houston, Texas, gets a fully guaranteed deal from the Cleveland Browns? These owners had a temper tantrum. How dare you? I know that they was ready to drop kick the Browns owner. I know they was ready to drop kick the Browns ownership in front office at every NFL owners meeting. I know they was treating them like Dan Snyder in that motherfucker, because the NFL, they have more control and leverage over the players. When you look at baseball, you look at basketball, the players have so much more control contractually over their destiny in their career. In the NFL, if they want you to be a part of their franchise for all eternity, you are a part of their franchise for all eternity, and they will lock you in a prison called the franchise tag on your way out the door if you want to make it hard for them. They don't have that crutch to keep players under wraps in other leagues. We got a lot of people in the chat right now, y'all. Drop me a super and air your grievances. We got a whole lot going on right now, man. Mr. Ron B, appreciate the coverage, Rio. I got you, man. I appreciate y'all locking in and rocking with your boy. It is the last day of July. We're about an hour from kickoff from the Hall of Fame game and the start of the NFL preseason, and we could give a flying fuck about that as we currently speak, because we just got breaking news that hopped me right up off the treadmill, did not finish my workout. I'm sweaty as hell right now. I need a shower and some more. Ran my ass home to come home and react to this shit live with y'all because this shit means something to me. Terry McLaurin has pulled out his big joker, everybody. He has requested a trade request. Let me know in the chat. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being this is fake, this is fugazi, this is a leverage play. 10 being no, he does not want to be here anymore and he really wants to be traded out of DC. Rate it in the chat. I want to know what y'all think. 1 being this is just a ploy to get the contract. 10 being no, he does not want to play for Adam Peters in the Washington Commanders anymore, because I'm very curious to know and gauge the temperature of the fan base as we currently speak. I know how this is going to go because I've seen how fans have been divided. They have been RG3 versus Kirk divided through this process. You either hate Adam Peters and you're treating him like a war criminal, or you want Terry out of here and suddenly believe that Terry McLaurin is a diva. It's either one of the two I've seen from our fan base. Two generalized extreme sides, but that's a part of football fandom, baby. That's how it works. That's how it go, man. That's how it go. What y'all thinking, man? Let me see those votes. I want to know 1 through 10. And where's your current panic level, man? Oh snap, we getting Louis night too. Let's go. Hey, if you were watching the Commanders Kings last night, we went for 5.5 hours on a training camp off day, and Louis T was drunk and rambling a bunch of I thought I was the rambler. Louis T was on that shit telling the same story 7 times. He was wilding last night. Y'all make sure y'all get some tickets to the Commanders Kings live show August 24th at Crystal City Sports Pub, by the way, because if you think we're wild on stream, wait till you come party with us in person, though. But as soon as I get off stream here, somewhere in the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour, there will be a Commanders Kings impromptu group live reaction to Terry's trade request as well. Real Benjamin, what it do? Terry's agent is like them lawyers who got baggy suits and make you lose the case. Terry's agent is literally the poster child of a pro bono court-appointed lawyer, the public defender that shows up in the TJ Maxx suit with his Dockers on, with his George brand Walmart slacks and cheap, not even Stacey Adams, like some no, you got the Payless Jones you get just because you need to put on some shoes for a job interview. That's Buddy Baker. See me, I'm taking my vitriol out on the agent. Love Peters, love Terry McLaurin. They've both changed my life. I'm taking it out on this weak ass agent, bro. I'm sorry, this agent not built for this shit. I'm gonna keep running with this analogy. When you've never had a player that's made more than like $15 million a year, where the fuck do you stand at trying to get a market $35, $36 million contract a year for a 30-year-old player when you've never written a contract, that you've never put those words on a check before? Nigga, you've never had that type of commission, and suddenly we think we Drew Rosenhaus out here. Oh, man. Terry, I really hope that this family and friends discount weekend hometown hero agent of yours does not ruin or sully your relationship with the team, man, because this, even if this is like some bullshit and just to get some money, this hurts. This stings because we all have an affinity for Terry. Whether you think he's the best receiver in the league, because you know some of our fans do, or you think he's a really good receiver, but not on the level that he's trying to be paid with. Regardless of how you feel, there's a connection with Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin has been our strongest soldier. Terry McLaurin has been a trooper. He has played through countless trash regimes, trash quarterbacks, and he's been on losing on and off the field organization for majority of his career. So what did Washington do? We rehauled the entire organization from ownership down to the entire roster. And now we have a general manager that's about his business that ain't finna be making emotional decisions when it comes time to negotiate a contract. We know how this situation plays out if Daniel Snyder was still the owner. He would have came down from his yacht months ago and said, Terry, I love you. You're like a son to me. What's it going to take to never have to have any negotiations or any hard conversation? Oh, you want $36 million a year? Done. Adam, write the check. I will see y'all later. That's what would happen. I've seen fans say they wouldn't mind that. We have to stop doing that shit. We have to be better as a fan base because we have been through poverty for so long that we look at poverty decisions and we say, you know what? Fuck it. I've been through it before. No. We have to be better than that now. This team is going places. And to go where it would like to go going forward, we need this acorn head body catch bandit on the football field on Sundays because Terry McLaurin is nice and he is a part of the fabric. He is one of the main ingredients of the fabric of any type of success Washington will be having going forward. But at the same time, we have to be reasonable here. We have to be reasonable here. I keep throwing out names and contracts. You keep saying, Rio, stop comparing Terry to other guy. How the fuck do you think contracts get done? What do you think an agent and a general manager are putting on the table when it comes to negotiations? This guy's getting this at this age with this level of production, this level of consistency. He played with all of this is a part of the conversation. Smash that like button, please. Smash that like button. We got $14.99 in the chat right now. But this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Marcus said, this is bullshit. Terry needs a new agent. He's crying for help, but he don't know what he's doing. He's screwing Terry up bad. Yo, it's funny because every time I say buddy, it sounds like I'm just being disrespectful and I'm calling him buddy out of snark and out of spite, but that's his name. And it makes this situation so hilarious, but there's nothing hilarious about this situation, bro. This is code red. If you're just checking in with me right now and the 1,500 people we got in the live chat, Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade from the Washington Commanders. The fans being certain about leverage is just more in denial fan brain. The leverage argument is reaching if you think about this without emotion. I'm not mad at you for that, but I mean, it's a tug of war. It's a tug of war of leverage and emotions and all that. There is a world where Terry might say, fuck that. You killed the relationship. I don't want to be here in DC anymore. But I don't think that's the case. I feel you, though. But I don't think I don't want to play here anymore. I'm done here. Is Terry willing to go play for the fucking Patriots or somebody just to get $30, $31, $32 million a year? Because I will promise you this, he's not getting $33 or $34 million from another team. If he gets that shit, it will be to the team that currently has his bird rights, and that is the Washington Commanders. He's not getting $33, $34, $35 million from another team that's also dishing out some type of capital for him. But I'm not willing yet, 18 minutes into this show, to start going into what should Washington be seeking in a trade, because I'm not yet in the thought process of this is going to be a trade. This is still the last ditch effort to get things done. Myles Garrett pinned a trade request that looked like the fucking Bill of Rights. Signed that shit like John Hancock in boldface print and went on a album rollout flirting with the entire contention part of the NFL during Super Bowl media week. And he still brought his big ass back to suck ass Cleveland, Ohio, where they have no hope in doing anything there, because eventually he got his bread. But that's a different level, though. That's a top 5 to 6, 7 player in the entire NFL. That is very different. Appreciate you, Reese. My guy Reese P. Ludwig said, you called this shit a week ago. 5 out of 10 because he doesn't want to do this, but doesn't want to flake on his words. So this would be Terry McLaurin exerting his definition of standing on business. This is what he feels he needs to do. This is what he feels he needs to get done to make something happen here. Jarrett Talks Football. Thank you for your channel membership and for the $5 donation. After seeing Myles Garrett write a formal ass farewell letter and resign the next day, I'm about as worried as I was a month ago, slim to none. I will tell you this. It don't feel like a contract is going to get done in the next week or two. It feels like that's shit. If it happens, it's going to be closer to the season. It's going to be closer to the season. And if not, at some point, Terry going to have to suit his ass up because he's not about to not play. He's not going to hold out for the season like stupid ass Le'Veon Bell and ruin his career. He's not going to do that, especially in his last couple years of real prime Terry McLaurin. You know, Elizabeth King, I appreciate you for the $5 super sticker. Wayne Claiborne, is this a salary cap issue or is it something else? I don't think any of us know truly what's going on. I'm going to get Jeremy Fowler on the show in the next few days. Hopefully he can provide some clarity on it, but there aren't as many leaky faucets. There aren't as many outlets that know what's going on at the negotiation table. It's mostly been speculation from national media. Not even our local guys have any true context to how these negotiations are going. We just keep hearing that they are very far apart. Terry feels he should be getting significantly more money, and the Commanders are starting at significantly less money than what he is seeking on the open market. I work in the music industry where contract disputes happen. I understand both sides. Can't be upset with anyone. Business is business on both ends here. I'm not upset with anybody. And if I'm going to pick someone to clown in this situation, it won't be Terry or Adam Peter. I'm going to clown the agent because I think he's out of his depth here. I think he's swimming in muddy waters here, but that could just be me. I like joking. Buddy McGuire, he thinks he's Jerry Maguire. Appreciate you, Sean. Buddy McGuire is hilarious. This is some Mickey Mouse bullshit. Mickey Mouse. Dog, and I thought we retired Mickey Mouse on the channel. Do y'all remember the Mickey Mouse win streaks Washington used to go on? This is some bullshit, man. This is some bullshit. I'm not going to lie to you. As a content creator, this type of shit is gold for engagement, for let's go live and talk to the fan. But we got about 1,600 people in here right now, not to watch the Hall of Fame game, but to talk about Terry McLaurin's trade situation. But this is not a situation I want us to be in, even if it does benefit me and what I do on this channel. This sucks. This sucks because this team, for the first time in my 33, almost 34 years of existence, has a true shot to contend for the division, the conference, and the whole enchilada, the fucking Super Bowl being played at Levi's Stadium in 2026. We actually have a shot right now. Our title window is open in year 2 of Peters, Quinn, and Jaden Daniels. So this is a speed bump. And this is the realest adversity Dan Quinn, Josh Harris, and Adam Peters and company have faced here in DC. Yeah, we lost 3 games in a row. Jaden had some banged up ribs during the season, and we had 55 put on our head tops in the NFC Championship. But that ain't real adversity because we wasn't even supposed to be there last year. So this is adversity, y'all. This is real ass adversity. How will Washington respond? Pivot. I'll tell you what, it's going to be an interesting day at the park tomorrow for practice and stuff when everyone has to go face the music and everyone's going to be even players that don't got nothing to do. They're going to ask the kicker. No, they're not going to ask the kicker. The kicker don't exist right now. Not a good example. They're going to ask someone like Sheldon Day what he thinks about the Terry McLaurin situation. They're going to ask every person they could put a mic in front of, is this a distraction? How do you feel about your teammate requesting a trade? Do you think he turned on you? Is he a Benedict Arnold? You know how the media goes. The media tries to get things out of players, and it's going to be nasty, man. Whatever AP in the front office does, I'm with that shit. I pray for days like this. Shout out Chef Cook Skinner. I did pray for days where we have a competent, adequate adult that runs the entire football operation, that will not be backed into corners, bitched by meddlesome owners and agents and used as a pawn and as a leverage play. Like, there was a long time in DC after Vinny Serrato and Dan were just overpaying any old washed up player that they could get to come here, where agents were using us to hike up the price for their clients. Their clients had no interest in playing for Washington, and they would take faux meetings with Washington just to hike up the price because they know our stupid ass was finna overpay for everybody. Adam Peters is not going to get raked over the coals. He's not going to get bent over behind the woodshed by this novice ass agent. I get it on both sides. Terry not finna accept no $25-26 million deal, and Adam Peters is not just going to bend and say, here, $34 million a year, even though we have no confirmation on either side. We are just going off the tea leaves that are being provided to us by national media. National media. They're the only ones that have anything. And do they really have anything, to be perfectly honest? I'm not sure. I would call this something, but hey, man, we have official news. Terry, I wonder how the trade request was done. Did Buddy Baker send a text? Did Terry Mclaurin call in? I wonder how they did it done. Buddy Baker seemed like the type of guy that would Zoom a virtual request the trade and say, hi, Mr. Peters, just wanted to let you know that my client, Terrence Mclaurin, will be officially requesting a trade out of Washington. As of right now, I will be faxing you over the trade request informal. You guys can drop it as a statement tomorrow. I'm very interested to see how AP and them responded to this, how DQ keeps the team. We have adversity now. Boy, if we was on Summer Hard Knocks, this would be quite the fucking story right now, man. Terry has the little joker. AP has the big joker. I think that's true. That is probably true. AP holds the biggest card in the deck here because he run this shit over here. Damn, this is crazy. I wonder, okay. We're almost 30 minutes in now, so we can start having conversations like this. I don't want to have this conversation. This feels dirty. I don't want to talk about what is Terry's trade value at this point. Doesn't that feel disgusting? First of all, I already need a shower because I hopped off the treadmill to come home to do this stream with y'all. But I already feel like I need a goddamn shower because this don't feel right. Now we got to discuss what is proper trade value for Terry Mclaurin in the Lord's year of 2025? What is going on, man? Brian Hancock, what's up, Rio? I'm a huge fan of your content. I think Terry's agent is going to get his ass traded. I see life moving forward without Terry. See, the thing is, I'm of the thinking as well that ultimately, if that were to happen and we were to move on for Terry, I have so much undying, unwavering belief in Jaden Daniels that I think we would be fine. But who the fuck is playing wide receiver 1 for this team? Who is our deep threat wide receiver for this team on the boundary? We are now suddenly making Deebo Samuel the top target on this team when he was supposed to be option 1B at most. That changes things. So I don't want to hear nothing about actually trading Terry unless there just happens to be a starting number 1 wide receiver that is not a fossil available, because draft picks aren't doing anything for me in 2025. And we are past the days of focusing on 2026 while we're in the current year that we're supposed to be contending for something. That's why I don't want to entertain the conversation of trading Terry yet. But Brian, you could be right. It could be an unsalvageable situation, and the disrespect he feels could be enough disdain to part ways officially and for life with the organization. My guy Scotty Woodbridge 703 in the building. What up, my brother? Didn't Ayuk request a trade? Yes, he did request a trade. Myles Garrett. We've seen this story. We've seen the disgruntled NFL athlete who takes it into his own hands, scrubs his Instagram, changes the profile picture. Terry did change his profile picture. He used to have a picture of him in a Washington uniform. Now it's him playing like Little League football or some shit. Little League baseball, some shit, something like that. He might have changed the one of them pictures in Italy, but he changed his profile picture. This is the trade request. This is a Hail Mary and an attempted checkmate from an agent and a player to make the organization say, put up or shut up. Meaning, this week has probably been very hard on Terry McLaurin. I'm shooting Terry some bail. I'm not trying to shit on Terry. I'm not trying to demonize Terry because he's such a fucking good guy. He's such a great guy. I'm not going to be the guy that's trying to kick his back end right now. But what's the better situation for Terry that's going to pay him what he seeks in 2025? I think a team like an up-and-coming team like the Patriots would be willing to, and I know they would probably prefer if they were going to actually pull the trigger on a trade, it would be to an AFC team, I would imagine. But, oh man, this is crazy. Now we have to really start asking, what do we want back in a trade? Do we want a significant impact player back? Do we just want picks? Picks don't help us right now. Who the fuck playing wide receiver one? All of a sudden, someone like Luke McCaffrey become. Remember I told you the other day, one of my favorite trending things on Twitter is when people say, when you accidentally become important at work and it's ruining your life. All of a sudden, fucking Luke McCaffrey starting opposite Deebo Samuel with Jalen Lane in the slot, or Noah Brown is starting opposite Deebo Samuel on the outside, Lane in the slot, and Luke getting impactful and important snaps going forward. Jaden's really good. I think Jaden's great. I think he's a top 5 quarterback. And part of top 5 quarterbacks' careers is being able to carry teams that are talent deficient. I don't want to see a season without Terry McLaurin right now, because Terry still got prime Terry left in him for a couple more seasons. And I think Terry, at max, truthfully, the max this contract should be is $30 million. $30 million is a great number for Terry McLaurin. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Tyreek Hill are making $30 million. And I'm sorry to tell you this truth if you don't want to hear it. They are significantly more productive than Terry McLaurin in the NFL. And Amon-Ra's 25 years old. He shouldn't be a 96 overall in Madden, but that's beside the point. I go on tangents. Bear with me. Man. Just living good. You've been a member for 9 months. I appreciate you for rocking with Rambler Nation. He says, Terry, we love you, bro, but maybe it's Tom and 5 we trust. And 5 we do trust. We got to start having tough conversations now, guys. Greg, I appreciate you for the $4.99 super chat donation. After the Myles Garrett trade request, I'm not moved by trade requests. He's just trying to speed this up. Yeah, he's trying to expedite the process. I feel that. This not even cope. This just the reality of the sport. It is true because NFL players have less control over their contractual situations than most other sports. Steph EC with the $9.99 super. I appreciate you. Our boy Rio called this. We got to let this play out. Speak to him, Steph. Speak to him. I said this was the next move. No. I said one of two things. I said either the team is going to leak to an insider that they are now fielding calls to trade Terry, or Terry and Buddy Baker are going to request a trade. And here we are in the waning minutes before the NFL preseason kicks off. And I wonder, and then that makes me think about the timing of it. Why today? What changed today? Did they have one last falling out? You know, like when you need closure and when a relationship is over, or on the like literally you are on the ropes in your relationship. You're backed into a corner, but y'all got to meet up one more time just to have that one last conversation of confirmation before you move out and before your clothes are on the street. Did they have that conversation today, and did something go awry? Did Adam Peters hang up on Buddy Baker? Did Buddy Baker make a demand and Adam Peters said, fuck out of my office? Because it already feels like an extremely awkward situation that we're in right now, because this agent is with Terry every day on campus and they're saying that there's nothing getting done. So you mean he's there every day and no one's talking to him? He's there every day of practice and nobody's talking to him. Nobody's entertaining him. Y'all aren't having any conversation. You're at the park where the contracts get done and nothing's getting done. That's not crazy. That doesn't sound crazy as hell to y'all. Because that sounds crazy as shit to me, man. This is a weird situation from top to bottom. Appreciate you again, Jarrett. Going crazy right now. Another one. Rio, connect me with whoever I need to talk to make my Jewish real estate ass Terry's agent. Hey, man. I got to be careful with this one, but hey, that's probably what he needs. That's probably what he needs, man. This hometown hero, Indianapolis, low class, low rate agent Terry has may not be the play, man. I appreciate you, the great Shambino, for the $10 donation. Yo, Rio, subscribe to your channel about 2 months ago. Love the content. I was at 3 or so with a Terry contract, now probably a 5.5. Where do I stand as of now? So I was about a 4.5 when we discussed this on Commanders Kings last night. I would say right now, I'm a 6. I got to go over 5 because this is above medium. This is definitely above medium. This here is different. This here is different, y'all. This shit here is different. This is real. This is really real, and reality has now officially set in on this situation. Terry Mclaurin has officially requested a trade, ladies and gentlemen. A trade from the Washington Commanders. And the conversation we're having right now is, how legitimate is this trade request? Is this a Hail Mary last-ditch effort for Terry Mclaurin to get what he seeks contractually from the team? Or is he really done with DC? He just married his longtime girlfriend, just bought his first home, like bought instead of rented and all that stuff, and suddenly ready to uproot his life? Woo! This is interesting. Shout out to Trucking with A. No, Trucking with A. I said Tricking. My bad. 28er skate or give us Tariq Hill. Tariq Hill's a nut, man. Be careful what you wish. They bring Tariq Hill around here. Y'all better hide your wives and girlfriends, because that boy is impregnating everything with estrogen from a 20-mile radius. But I'm not ready. I got to be ready to have the conversation. I'm not ready to discuss what I want back in a trade, but we're about to go there when I get through these super chats. Biggie Steve with the $4.99 donation. The front office should have paid him before DK fucked up the market. Could have gotten him for 28 to 30 mil. I blame both sides, but more Adam Peters. That's fair. But Pittsburgh fucking up the market, that's none of our business. That's none of our business. And it's not our job to counter bad business with more bad business. So because 27-year-old DK Metcalf, who's not better than Terry, even though he has 10 more touchdowns in the same career span, he's not better than Terry McLaurin, but 27, 30, you see why. And a team trading for a receiver of that magnitude, an extension comes attached. There's no trade completed without an extension. It's a different scenario than the one we have here with Terry, who still has 1 year left on his deal, and it's not being traded to us. He's been here his whole career. Joshua Garber, appreciate you for the $4.99 super chat and for being a channel member. A, you called it. B, saw this buddy live coming. We did. See, doesn't want to miss the potential ring. Hell yeah, man. We gotta. You, I can't be convinced that Terry would rather play for the Patriots, who are about to win 6-7 games max this year, over what we got going on here over a few $1,000,000 annually. Somebody, some super sleuth NFL insider has to find us some concrete, tangible evidence of what the offers on the table are. We need to know what Washington's put out there, and we need to know what Terry's asking for. I feel like they are very good in that building of keeping shit out, because there are a lot of teams right now where we would know exactly what the numbers are. We're guessing and we're putting things in ranges of what it could have, would have, should have been, but we have no idea what the actual offers on the table are. So, oh man. Oh man. Man. Woo! This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. Give me Christian Watson in a third. No, real Benjamin. Christian Watson's always, he's fucking hurt, and he just learned how to catch a year ago. We don't want Christian Watson. You ever seen Jingle All the Way? That's my favorite Christmas movie. We don't want Booster. We want Turbo Man. We want Turbo Terry Mclaurin. We don't want Booster. I don't want Christian Watson. Christian Watson give you 6 good games and you never see that nigga again. Never see him again. This shit's crazy, man. This shit's crazy. This is a lot to process. We are 41 minutes and 10 seconds into a stream. 1,643 people in the chat as we speak. We are discussing the Terry McLaurin trade request, the day we never thought we would get to. Washington has competent front office, and Washington has its sights set on Super Bowl contention. So this is adversity that we have not seen yet in these kumbaya, family-oriented, winning time vibes Washington has been in for the last year. This is wild, y'all, but it's part of the business and it's part of the game. I blame Buddy. My man Steve said, I blame Buddy. I'm not mad at you, man. I could be delusional. Trade Terry. Listen, they're not trading us neighbors for Terry. We would have to throw so much into that. Like, we're having tough conversations and we're keeping it objective, right? Malik Neighbors, after 1 year of football, I would rank Malik Neighbors higher than Terry McLaurin. With no quarterback last year, he had a 100-catch season for 1,200 yards and for like 8 touchdowns, and he missed a couple games with concussions. I'm not trying to be that guy. Terry's never had a 100-catch or 1,200-yard season. Neighbors did it in his first year with no quarterback. So when we do the no quarterback struggle Olympics, context matters. There is not a chance in hell we could pull off a Malik Neighbors trade. That's not even something that I'm going to dignify, because dreams like that don't exist. Chef Cook Skinner, appreciate you with a $5 super chat. We've been so used to having mid-ass players. We treating Terry like he's Jefferson or Chase. Trade his ass AP. That's how you feel, Chef Cooks? That's how you feel? This is crazy. This is crazy, man. This is where this is going to go. Unfortunately, this is going to sour a lot of people on Terry. It's obviously going to turn people on AP because they've already been doing that during the process of this. But this is going to turn a lot of people against Terry. It's going to turn a lot of folks against Terry. It's going to demonize him a little bit. This is wild. I'm not turning on Terry or AP, but am I going to tell fans that they're not allowed to turn on one of those guys? You can feel however the hell you'd like to. You know, like how people tell me to stop dropping F-bombs and cussing on my channel? Fuck no. I'm going to feel however the hell I would like to on Rio Robinson's channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. We're 45 minutes into a stream discussing Terry McLaurin's trade request. So we've been in here for long enough. Let's start having the conversation, y'all. What is Terry McLaurin's true trade value if we really trade him? What is the most we're going to get for Terry McLaurin? I will start. I do not think we could get a first-round pick for 30-year-old Terry McLaurin. I think a couple years ago, we could have got a first-round pick for Terry McLaurin. I don't think first-rounder would – I think second plus. Second in a future, second in a mid, second in a player. I don't think a first-rounder is going to be provided to Washington. I don't think 30-year-old Terry McLaurin is fetching a $33-34 million a year annual salary and a first round pick in a trade. Am I wrong for that? Y'all let me know. Queen Sheen, that is a day one channel member. That's family right there. Been a member now for over 2 years, 27 months locked in with your boy. Y'all heard Queen Sheen. Smash that like button, hit that bell for notifications. So whenever I go live, a day like tonight where I had to run straight off the treadmill and not finish my workout, to come home and react with the fan base to the biggest news we've had in quite some time. You thought that news this week was going to be the stadium vote that's going to happen tomorrow. That's probably going to get okayed. Cool. Thumbs up. Happy for you. Team's going back to DC. Yay. But we don't have a wide receiver. Well, we do have a wide receiver one, but for how much longer? Very interesting, man. This is a very interesting situation, guys. Kyle W., appreciate you for your channel membership and for the $5 super chat donation. I think AP saw that wide receiver mess in San Francisco and is trying to make sure he doesn't overpay here. This guy has been a part of so many winning organizations. The Denver Broncos, when they won the Super Bowl, the Patriots, when they won multiple Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowl appearances in his tenure in San Francisco. The guy has been nothing but around winners. I can guarantee you he saw that Cortland Sutton contract from a mile away with his connections league-wide and in the building that he used to work for down in Mile High. He knew what was coming, and it's been quite the saga, man. A lot of moving parts here this week. A lot of moving parts, and now we get the official trade request that I told y'all was coming. I told y'all that's the last thing. Terry showed up this week. He's had the fans screaming his name. He got Jaden hyping him up in front of crowds. We got Bobby Wagner hyping him up. And we got his dumbass agent walking him around and chauffeuring him around the premises like a weirdo. Not Terry, the agent. Why are you walking around with your client every day after practice? What is that doing? What's the optics and the logistics of Terry's agent following him around after practice? I don't know. It's very weird. Very strange situation. Jalen Waddle in a second or third for Terry. That piques my interest. That's a conversation. We're going to get back to that. We'll get back to that. Appreciate you, Renee Guzman Iglesias, for the $5 super chat donation. Three-way trade. Oh, we're doing NBA trades now. Let me get a drum roll for this one. We are doing NBA-style three-team trade. Can you do a three-team trade in the NFL? I'm sorry if that's a stupid question. Can you do a three-team trade in the NFL? This is crazy. This is wild, man. This is wow. I'm about to read your trade offer in just a second. I'm making sure I didn't miss something. I was looking at Al Galdi's tweet real quick, and it says the leverage in the Terry McLaurin situation is overwhelmingly with the Commanders. He's under contract for 2025, and then the team can franchise tag him for 26 and even 27 if need be. Can play this year to year. If an extension is going to happen, it's going to happen on Adam Peters' terms, and that's correct. From a successful GM in the NFL, Washington is too late, could have avoided it. It's a game of chicken now. Either tell him you're not trading him or figure it out. This is getting close to the Hassan Reddick situation. I don't know if I'd say all that. That's what Diana Rossini posted. That's what Diana Rossini, former Redskins beat member of the Athletic, ESPN, all that good shit. Three-way trade between Washington, Cincy, New England. New Orleans gets Terry from Washington. Washington gets Hendrickson. Cincy gets first rounder from New England. Credit to okay, so Trey Hendrickson, very good football player. Also 30 years old, but I'm not going to scoff at the fact that the guy just led the league in sacks. And he's had 17 and a half sacks in back-to-back years. He's pretty much still in the prime of his superpower, but 3-team trades, I'm not sure if that's really an NFL thing. And having Hendrickson would be all fine and dandy, but who the hell is playing wide receiver for Washington on the side opposite of Deebo Samuel if we make a trade? See, that's the part that makes this shit tricky. Bro, I'm trying to win the fucking Super Bowl this year. I'm trying to win the Super Bowl this year, man. Read my last super about a new agent for Terry. I read that, John, right? I ain't skipped nobody's super. That might have just been like a timing thing. But I believe I read all of them. Let me make sure I didn't miss Jake Fleming's joke. Oh, yeah. There we go. My brother said, fire bitch ass buddy and hire Miss Jackson. Oh, yeah, that's Jaden's mama, Miss Regina. She'll take care of her boys wide receiver. One, shortest offseason of our lives. Bullshit distraction. Yeah, man, this shit crazy. I don't know how I missed that. I have fucked up eyes, man. I have diseased corneas. I have what's called keratoconus disease in both of my corneas, and I have a cornea transplant. So blame my eyes for that one. My bad for missing your super, my guy. My bad for missing your super. I did not mean to. It was not intentional. I promise, man. All right, let's get back to where we were. We're talking 3-team trade. Imagine that. We want to talk about our MVP, potential MVP quarterback. We want to talk about Super Bowls and how we're going to win 11, 12, 13 games this year. Now we got to talk about a fucking trade request. But this was obviously where this was heading, especially if they're as far apart as everyone is, I'll put it in bunny ears, quoting how far apart the team is with Terry. How do we know if they didn't go to him before they did and Buddy turned it down? Nobody on here is a psychic. This is true, Sean. This is very true. None of us know anything. We don't know jack shit. The local media knows jack shit. And maybe a couple national media guys are really close with Adam Peters. Maybe they know some things and they're kind of vaguely dropping hints at what's going on, but nobody's putting out any astute, concrete, tangible numbers or evidence of what's taking place here right now. Appreciate you, Dino. Be the witness for the 199 super. Terry, chants are dead. It's JD5 from now. I mean, it's always JD5 in here. And I'm not trying to turn anybody on Terry. Terry always going to be that guy for me. But I've always kept it a buck. I love Terry, and I think Terry's a really good wide receiver. And I've always said Terry's not an elite wide receiver. And he's right outside of the top 10 of wide receivers in the NFL to me. And I'm not going to apologize for that take. That's good. You know how many niggas play receiver in the NFL? To be the 11th or 12th best receiver in the league is an honor. It's very good. He's probably about to be voted in the top 50-something players in the NFL. That is really good. It's not a disrespect or a slight to Terry to say he's the 11th or 12th best receiver in the league. That's good. That's very good. I ain't turning nobody against nobody, but let's not get it twisted. This is Jaden Daniels' team. Like when I see people say Terry's the franchise, I'm like, they got a little bit too much dip on your chip now, player. Terry is a big part of this thing here. He is one of the main and key core ingredients to what we're cooking here in the DMV right now. But let's not get it fucked up. Let's not get it fucked up. It's Jaden's world over here right now. JMod6, appreciate you for your channel membership and for the super chat donation. Did y'all see how happy Payne was on K Adams' show? I know every player here during Snyder's era feels the same way. Terry doesn't want to leave and will fold. If it is a game of attrition or a game of chicken, like Diana Rossini said and the league executive offered about Washington's situation, the player doesn't usually win. Or if the player does win, it's because he's one of the top 2 or 3 players at his position in the league. And that is not the case that we are facing here. This is not Jamar. Like, to put this in a proper perspective, CeeDee Lamb held out all of camp and almost all of the offseason. He got his contract done on August 27th. He got that shit done like a couple weeks before the NFL regular season started. CeeDee Lamb was coming off like a 1,700-yard, 100-something catch season. These are not the same situation. And he's 25 years old coming off his rookie contract. This would have been already solved if Terry was coming off his rookie contract. I keep pointing to these frame of references because they relate directly to this situation going on here. Terry's situation has shit to do with Garrett Wilson. It has shit to do with the younger guys getting extended at wide receiver. Terry's situations are going to fall somewhere in between. Like I keep bringing up the Mike Evans contract because that to me feels like the most direct comparison to this contract. Mike Evans is going into his age 32 season. In his age 30 season, he negotiated an extension with the Buccaneers. 2 years, $52 million. That's $26 million a year. Mike Evans is getting a fucking gold jacket one day. Mike Evans has 11 straight 100-yard seasons. Mike Evans played 3 less games than Terry McLaurin at age 31 and had 2 less touchdowns, 7 less catches, and 67 less yards. Mike Evans is making $26 million this year. Why the fuck should Terry be making $8, $9, $10 million more than Mike Evans? Someone explain that to me. Of a couple million more, sure. 28, 29, max 30. Any more than that, why? Yes, Terry should be making more than Courtland Sutton. Terry's better than Courtland Sutton. How much better is Terry than Courtland Sutton at the same age? How much? Because I can go for he's $6 million better than Courtland Sutton. I can't go for he's 10, 11, $12 million on average better than Courtland Sutton because that would mean you're jumping multiple tiers of receiver. And as good as Terry is, I don't think he's that. And I think our fandom at times, we can perpetuate success that never happened or like a level of success that we've never seen, but we're predicting could have taken place. This could have happened if he had a better quarterback. This would have happened. Like, these are all hypotheticals. These are not concrete things. You have to go off of what's actually been put out on a football field. And Terry is a very, very good wide receiver. But we have to be reasonable here. We have a quarterback that is trending to get the highest contract in the history of the NFL 2 to 3 years from now. Mikey Sanders still, he turns out to be what he looks like he's going to be in this league. He's going to be due up around the same time as Jaden Daniels. He don't get no 5th-year option. He was a 2nd-round pick. And you know they're not going to make Jaden play on his 5th-year option. So there's a world in this conversation where Adam Peters has to cook the books in a way that when it's time to pay when it's time to pay Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin is no longer the priority as the number 1 wide receiver on the team. A couple years from now, they have to be preparing to shift Terry into wide receiver 2 mode and have a young receiver out there for Jaden Daniels. These are the tough conversations, but these are the conversations you have to have. This is how business works. We always wanted a GM that not only looks out for the right now, but prepares us for the future that awaits us. And that future is looking brighter than it's ever looked in my time of fandom here in DC. Sierra Goodman, appreciate you for the $9.99 super chat donation. We have a quarterback now. We have to remember De'Ami Brown got the bag and Zacchaeus, and I forgot they was on the roster. I be forgetting they was on the roster too. We'll never forget late season Alameda, and I will never forget playoff De'Ami, but you know what I mean? Like they, you know what I mean? Like they weren't special. Like De'Ami getting $10 million is a surprise to me, considering 300 yards is the most yards he's ever had in a season. You know, we're not talking about Terry like he De'Ami. Terry not chump. Terry like that. But there's levels. There's definitely levels. And you don't hate Terry for being honest about that. We will be fine if Terry McLaurin gets traded, go in free agency. My only response to the what if we actually trade Terry conversation is Then what for right now? Listen, I think that Jaden is so good that the show would go on. But I don't want to play with that. I don't want to deal with that. Deal with that shit next year. Figure out a solution for this season, and then we can talk about that shit in 2026. Man, throw that shit to the back burners for 1 year. Nigga, we can win the Super Bowl in 2025, y'all. We are good enough to beat any team in the NFL as presently constructed. While old man Bobby still got superpowers, while Zach Ertz still got another season of very good play in him, we are built for it right now. Oh, man. I'm so excited about how Debo's connection and chemistry with Jaden's been growing. I don't want to have to force Debo to be the main target on the team. I don't want that. I don't want that. I appreciate you, Earl Sanders, for the $10 super sticker. Appreciate you, family. Paul Kiyoko, gang, moderator, longtime channel member. Appreciate you for the $10 donation. You know what this did in the middle of Adam's mind? Try to sign Terry, of course, but he's looking like, who is our next wide receiver one in the next draft? 26. Peters is playing checkers, not chess. So chess, not check. Hold on. Did you say that right? Are you saying he's playing the novice game more than the thinking man's game? Because I think Peters is doing what a good GM should be doing here, and that is not getting hoed by your aging superstar player. And guys, you don't have to keep telling me 30 is not old. I'm 33 years old. I also can attest that 30 is not old, but in the terms of negotiating top mark, you're not seeing in today's league 30-year-old receivers get that. Mike Evans is a fucking Hall of Famer. He's not making $30 million a year right now. He just got an extension. And it was 2 years, 52. But if you're looking at the guarantee, it's only 2 years, 41. So he's technically getting like 2 years, $20.5 million a year. And he's still out there going crazy every season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I didn't see him have to hold his team hostage to get the $26 million a year. And yes, I know the market shifts, but you do not have to respond to bad business with more bad business. That is not good business at all. And it is not how I want the GM of my football team moving, to be totally honest. Ray Hodges, appreciate you for becoming a YouTube member and a part of the Rambling family. We still got over 1,400 people live. I'm not on camera right now. I rushed off the treadmill. I'm sweaty. I look a goddamn mess right now, but we had to get home to talk about Terry McLaurin requesting a trade. I've been telling you, this is where this is heading. But the way that I present the trade request is, it's a fugazi trade request, but it could have some merit considering things may have soured over the week. Is this a real trade request? This is unsalvageable. This is, what do they call it with divorce? Irreconcilable differences. I don't know. I forgot that word. I threw that word away after my divorce. Very messy times. Don't want to talk about it. But if this is an unsalvageable situation, we actually have to move Terry. I'm not of the belief that we have to move Terry, or that we want to move Terry, or that we're even discussing moving Terry, because I think this is Terry's last-ditch effort from his sorry-ass agent to get Terry his last big payday in the league. At his age 30 season, this is the last big contract 17's going to get in his career. So I feel Terry for trying to get his moonyans. I feel him for that. But at the same time, we have to be reasonable. We have to be reasonable. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what kind of fucking barometer for a contract is DK got 33? I need more. I need considerably more than DK. Brother, no. And do I have to go through his agent's client list again? Because, I don't have I'm not kicking Adam Peters or Terry McLaurin's back in, because I like both of those guys, and my fandom will not allow me to do that. But I have no reason to not kick the back end of Buddy Baker, this novice ass agent of Terry McLaurin. I feel like if Terry was working with athletes first, David Mulligata, the Rosenhalls, Clutch Sports, Rich Paul and them, this shit would have got done. Terry might want to just represent himself at this point and cut his little weak ass check to his former agent once he fires Buddy Baker, because this shit is crazy. This is Terry McLaurin's agent's client list. His top client for exclusive sports group is Terry McLaurin, $22,788,000. Top client. This is the rest of his client list. For the casual NFL fan, you are not about to know any of the remaining names on this list, but lock in with me. I'm trying to make a point here. Tershawn Wharton, $15 million. Jeremy Chin, a guy that we just let walk this year. Jeremy Chin walked in free agency because he was expecting a big payday. Jeremy Chin was expecting to receive $11, $12, $13 million a year. He got 2 years, $16 million from the Las Vegas Raiders. Reed Blankenship, one of the exciting whites from the Philadelphia Eagles, $3 million a year. Shaq Griffin, $3 million a year. Patrick Ricard, 2.8. Demetrius Knight, 2.2. DeAndre Carter, Washington football team kick return legend, $1.4 million. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Where does this agent's never written a check like this before? He is in over his head, and I think he's feeding bad beats and bad information to one Terry McLaurin, and I kind of hate that for him. I'm not seeing Drew Rosenhaus hanging around facilities, walking his client around the premises after practice. I don't see David Mulligata doing that dumb shit. 31-year-old Tariq, appreciate you, Fox Hayes, for the $5 donation. 31-year-old Tariq Hill for Terry. His 3-year, $90 million deal with $65 million guarantee kicks in the 26th season. You got 4 more miles, by the way. I don't think that's I don't think the Tariq for Terry shit. I don't think that's very good conversation. But I hear y'all. For trying to cook up, because that would at least give us a number one option. Tariq Hill, and I'm a player that I will take some assholes, some dickheads on the roster. Tariq Hill's a problem. Tariq Hill is, I feel y'all though. If we finna trade Terry, give me a Tariq Hill type talent back. But Terry for T. Higgins, he's making $28 million. How about instead of Terry for T. Higgins, give Terry a little bit more than T. Higgins and let's call it a day. Give Terry 3 years, $88 million. If Terry is not willing to accept a $20 million pay raise at 30 years old, that may be time to start having tough conversations about trading him. That's my suggestion at this point. We have worked our way down from them 30s, and we're trying to stand in a place of reality. And my solution to this is 3 years, $88 million. That is $29.3 million a year. Terry's current contract that concludes after the 2025 season is 3 years, $68. Going from $368 to $388 when you're 3 years older, how is that a problem? What world playing on a contender and getting a $20 million pay raise not enough? That should be enough. I know what the optics look like, bro, but we don't have to do a $33, $32 million deal just because DK Metcalf got this. These guys are in the same draft class as you. I understand, Terry, and you feel like you're better than DK because you are a better wide receiver than DK. But ultimately, we live in a world where our everyday jobs, we're getting replaced by younger people. We're getting replaced by computers, artificial intelligence. That is the nature of the beast in business. Youth and age matters. 27 versus 30 is a real thing. Tariq Hill's deal, he negotiated it when he was 27, not when he was 30 years old. And he's coming off being like the best player in the NFL when he did it. Back-to-back 1,700-yard seasons. These are very contextually different situations than Washington's facing with Terry right now. Wiley Wiley W. Bank, appreciate you for the $5. Broke the touchdown record, tore it up in the playoff, has key to the city. Everyone loves him, has been loyal through all our bullshit, deserves 30 over 3. And I think that's like that's all it should take. If Adam Peters isn't willing to give him 3 for 90, then I understand the anger with Adam Peters. 3 for 90, that's a couple million more. But here's the thing. Someone said this in the comments on Commanders Kings last night. They made a great point. Adam Peters is not writing out lifetime achievement awards. Adam Peters is not offering sweetheart deals. And Adam Peters is not obligated to pay Terry Mclaurin for services he was not here to witness. And that is the hard part of the business side. But yes, he did all those things. He had 227, a touchdown in each playoff game last year. He went crazy. He broke the franchise single season touchdown record on the final play of the game versus the Dallas Cowboys. That is our acorn head body catch bandit king right there. We love Terry McLaurin, man. That's our guy for sure. But, man, a trade request? I mean, I've seen this coming recently, but actually reading it, seeing it, and having to discuss it for 70 minutes, that's wild, man. Fox Hayes, welcome to the Rambler family, man. Welcome, my guy, to the family. Where is Terry going to go? No, appreciate you for the $5 super chat donation, SSG. Where is Terry going to go that pays him what he wants, that has a chance at winning? The first name you always say is the Patriots, but chance at winning is where that would probably stop. I do think they hired the right coach. I think they drafted the right quarterback. I think Drake May and Mike Vrabel are going to turn that shit around in New England. But how long is it going to take? They signed like 30 new players this year, and it does not always look like Washington did last year, where they just get right to the business of winning immediately and not going through growing pains together. So if it's really worth a few $1 million to go back to a not winning team, then I hope Terry gets what he wants. But I don't know what he wants, and we don't know what AP's offering. But we can speculate, because that's all we can do, because we're not moving like the Washington Redskins owned by Dan Snyder. We would have known we would have already had leaks of text message and email conversations between Snyder's regime and Terry's representation. Matter of fact, no, we wouldn't have, because this shit would have never happened, because Daniel Snyder would have gave him the Jamar Chase contract, and fans would have ate that shit up, and I would have been like, yeah, this isn't great. Sean, appreciate you again for the Dubski. 3 years, $84 million. $56 million fully guaranteed. That's 2 years fully guaranteed. So if you're still doing your average of 1,000 to 1,100 yards a year in year 3 at 33 years old, we can negotiate the last year of it. I think when this finally gets done, if this is going to get done this offseason, it's going to be a 3-year deal that guarantees about 2 of those years. The Courtland Sutton deal made all of this shit tricky. I know Buddy Baker probably sent a diss track to Courtland Sutton's agent. I know Terry want to drop kick this motherfucker, because that set a whole new precedent in this conversation, because Courtland Sutton and Terry McLaurin are not as far off as you think. Terry McLaurin is better than Courtland Sutton, but it's not to the point where it's that demonstrably different that he should be making 23 while Terry's making 33 a year. Like, it's not that big of a difference. It's not that, like, a $10 million. You know what a $10 million difference, a $10+ million difference looks like? Courtland Sutton to De'Ami Brown. One's making 10 up to 13. One's making 23 million. That looks like a $10+ million gap between caliber of player. You talk about a nigga that's had 300 for his career high versus a very good, productive, good-sized 29-year-old receiver in Courtland Sutton. It's just a tricky conversation, man. And there are so many variables to it. You can't ignore things out of emotion. These are all a part of the conversation. Man. We've been in here for an hour and 13 minutes. We still got over 1,200 people in the chat. This is a tough day for Washington Commanders Nation. We're going to see what this front office, this coaching staff, and what this team is made for. They done told us, they done showed us what this new culture is about. We're going to see just how they hold it together and hold it down, where one of the leaders of the team has just requested out. Now, we don't know the validity of this trade request. We don't know if he actually wants out of the building or if he's just trying to get as much money as he can, but I understand it on both sides. I understand it on both sides of the coin, man. I understand why we would. I understand why Adam Peters wouldn't want to set a precedent for a 30-year-old receiver and set the new trend to start handing out $30+ million contracts to 30-year-old receivers that are good but that are not elite. And I also understand this is Terry's last payday. He just got married, man. Wifey probably like, yo, we got to get our coins, baby. We got to get this bread. And he got I was about to wild out for a second about Buddy Baker. He has a not that experience. I'm not going to say what I actually wanted to say there because that would have been a little wild. I'm not trying to cause no problems. I'm not going to say with that, but Buddy Baker is not cut out for this contract negotiation. It's so clear. DB, my guy David Brown said, I'm in the minority. I survived Champ, Montez, Chase. So ship Terry off for picks. Terry being greedy at the wrong time. We chasing rings here in DC. DB, I'm not mad at you, man. We traded a Hall of Fame cornerback for one of my favorite running backs ever. And for the typical or maybe casual fan, we loved Clinton Portis. We loved everything about Clinton Portis. But a lockdown corner, a Hall of Fame corner for a running back in the 2000s, that shit should be punishable by law. Montez and Chase, I totally understood. As much as we talk about losing Montez and Chase, Montez Sweat had Dorrance Armstrong amount of sacks last year, and he played the whole season. He got $100 million just about from the Chicago Bears and proceeded to continue to not have double-digit sacks. He proceeded to be Dorrance Armstrong for the Chicago Bears after getting paid. Chase Young, king of the pressure, never the sack. You know, like the saying, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Chase Young is always the pressure and never the sack. And he had a solid season for the New Orleans Saints last year. But we could live without those guys. The Champ trade was unforgivable, even if we did love Clinton Porter. It's one of the wildest trades to me in NFL history, even though a lot of people would disagree because we loved Clinton, and Clinton did put in work for us. But lockdown Hall of Fame corner, very good running back. That's fucking crazy. That would be, okay, what would the Champ Bailey trade be in today's NFL? That would be Patrick Surtain for Bijan Robinson. That's the trade. That is in today's world term. Would someone trade Patrick Surtain II, PS2, for Bijan Robinson? I'm going off topic, but that is what that trade sounds like in today's term. And as much as I love Bijan Robinson, no fucking person in the world is trading Patrick Surtain II for Bijan Robinson. That's egregious. But back to 17. Back to Terrence. I see a lot of upset people in the chat, man. Don't turn on Terry, guys. Don't hate Terry. Don't hate Adam P. I'm trying to keep everything together here, but I feel you. I feel y'all for being upset. If y'all want to say fuck Terry, I understand where you're coming from. It's not fuck Terry to me. I get it. This is Terry's last payday. Terry trying to go to Turkey and get his hairline right, man. He needs every coin he can get. He trying to get his last big payday in the league, and Adam Peters is trying to hold the fort down and keep a surplus of capital available because we're going to have to pay the biggest contract in the history of the league. Hopefully, by the time Jaden gets paid, the NFLPA reaches something that quarterbacks no longer count against the salary cap. That would be fly. That would be fly, man. Jared Talks Football once again going crazy with the supers tonight. If we trade Terry, we either need appropriate draft capital or a younger deep threat. Wide receiver 2 with wide receiver 1 upside. Fuck Tariq. Yeah, like there needs to be, it needs to be a special type draft. Like, while I don't think we could get a first rounder for Terry, since I'm not at the point where I'm really willing to actually trade Terry, I'm telling everybody the trade offer starts with a first. I'm not trying to trade Terry, so I'm telling every team that calls me, if your offer don't start with a first or a number 1 wide receiver, fuck off my line. Fuck off my line. What are we talking about? What are we talking about if you ain't got a first rounder on the line? Do I actually think we're going to get a first for him? No. But, yeah. Oh, man. This is wild. See, but what I'm not going to do, I refuse. I'm going to be Switzerland in this bitch. I'm team neutral. I get it on both sides. I don't hate Adam Peters, and I damn sure don't hate Terrence Mclaurin. But this is some messy shit. This is some messy Zeus Network loving hip-hop type shit happening right now, and I hate this for us. I hate this for us. But it's good to talk about on here, though. It's good business on the channel, but I hate it. I hate it at the same time. Kwame, appreciate you, my guy. Rio thinking crazy. Cliff typically has no wide receiver 1 for his system. Perhaps AP secures Cliff with head coach money. And as you said earlier, draft a wide. Hey, Kwame. Hey, the Cliff part. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. We need to do whatever it takes. Did y'all hear that story earlier about how Jaden, Tavita Pritchard, and Cliff Kingsbury, these motherfuckers just be in the building at 4 o'clock in the morning together, cooking up, preparing, getting ready for the season? We have a bunch of football junkies, obsessed and addicted to the grind. Whatever we need to do to keep Cliff in the building for the long term, make him the highest paid coordinator in the league. And before someone says, why y'all talking about paying Cliff and why we're not paying Terry? Coaches' contracts have nothing to do with the salary cap. You can pay them however the fuck much you want. That is the owner's money. That is not salary cap money. So let me put that out there right there. And yes, in Cliff's system, other than like Terry last year and DeAndre Hopkins and the first stint with the Cardinals, it doesn't really lean towards a dominant number 1 receiver. It's a spread out the offense type of system, but that don't mean in 2025 I want to see us suit up without Terry though. That's just, Kwame, I feel you, my brother, but I just don't want to. I don't want to go there this year. Sean, appreciate you again. That's $5 more million a year for the 5 more TDs he had over Sutton. That was me, bro, on Ewing Lake. I called them lifetime achievement count. You sure did. You sure did. But yes, yeah, that's $5 more million a year. Hell yeah. So the 28 instead of 23. You know, he did have 5 more touchdowns in him. Yards and catches, almost identical. But touchdowns, yes. You know, but we can't pick and choose when to use and not use like an argument like touchdowns. Like we can't say, but Terry was second in the league in touchdowns last year, so he has to get more than DK Metcalf. But also DK Metcalf has 10 more touchdowns than Terry, and they've been in the league for the same amount of time. It's very weird when you start like picking like one stat at a time and juxtaposing multiple play. It's just all a very difficult conversation. My guy, Art De Leon, let's fucking go. HTTC from San Antonio, Texas. See, my guy's still in good spirits. My guy's still hyped for the season. I'm still hyped for the season. This is just a speed bump on the way to title contention, man. We're going to laugh about this a month from now. Hopefully. Hopefully a month. What's today? The 31st? Yeah, a month from now, it'll be Labor Day week. It'll be the day before Labor Day, and we'll be going into NFL kickoff week. Terry will be extended. It'll be all smiles, and we're going to talk about beating the dog shit out of Russell Wilson and the New York Giants week 1. It's going to be a long month until we get there, though. This is going to be a long month of. So, what's the latest on Terry? Do you hate Terry? Does Terry hate Adam Peters? Did you guys ruin and sully the relationship of one of your franchise cornerstones? What is wrong with Washington? What is wrong with Terry? Sports talk is finna be so messy. I can't imagine what the sorry-ass sports junkies is going to sound like in the morning. It's going to sound crazy. It's probably going to sound a little bit racist. It's going to sound like a shit show on the sports junkies and on 106.7 radio tomorrow. Glad I don't listen to it. But man, it's going to be a messy ass month, y'all. But lock in, though. Lock in. What kind of deal do I think we can strike with the Niners or Chiefs? Oh, man. The Niners can't offer me shit. The Niners can't offer me shit because Jawan Jennings is good. He's not a number one. I'm not interested in that. Brandon Ayuk, I watched his knee turn into silly string last year. I'm no longer interested in the services of Brandon Ayuk. If he was healthy, we can have a conversation. What the Chiefs about to throw us? They're not throwing us what are they going to throw us? They're not throwing us Rashee Rice. They're not throwing us Xavier Worthy, who's not a Terry caliber receiver, but that's the fastest fucking player in the league. They're not offering us either of those. They're not offering us they could offer us a first round pick. A Chiefs first round pick is going to be in the 30s. So that's damn near a second round pick. But are they going to give Terry $33, $34 million a year? We're talking about the same Kansas City Chiefs that traded Tyreek Hill in his prime because he wanted to get paid. And also, since I just said that, let me walk that statement. Let me go back to that statement real quick because I feel like that's important. When you have a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, I'm not trying to look or visualize or envision a world without Terry being a Washington lifer. But I think Jaden Daniels is going to compete for the MVP multiple times. I think he's going to compete for Super Bowls multiple times. I think we got one of those superpower, gravitational pull, bona fide superstar quarterbacks. You know who's a bona fide superstar quarterback and the number one guy in the league? Patrick Mahomes. Tyreek Hill was the number one weapon in the league, and they traded him. And Patrick proceeded to still win Super Bowls and get to Super Bowls without Tyreek Hill. I'm not calling us the Chiefs. I'm not saying Jaden is Patrick Mahomes just yet. But I'm saying if we ultimately have to move on from Terry McLaurin, when you have one of those ones at the quarterback position, there is always light at the end of the goddamn tunnel. And I know this is all a very tough conversation because Terry's got to be a lifer, man. That's our guy. But we got to let this situation play out. Air your grievances. Get all your feelings out. Get your fuck Adam Peters, your fuck Terry's out. I'm not effing any of them. That's a crazy sentence, by the way. I apologize. You know, my verbiage gets a little crazy when I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll right now. But I just want to see some finality. I just want to see a resolution to it, bro. I don't care when it gets done. Just get the shit done before the season starts, and let's go win a Super Bowl. What kind of deal do I think we can get done? If you not saying the words first round pick to me, kick rocks. Because if Terry believes he is a $32, $33, $34 million receiver, teams should be lining up like mid-2000s Black Friday doorbuster sales, offering us first-round picks for him. Terry and his agent may be fully trying to explore his value. This is the last gauge of determining his true valuation as a wide receiver one going into his age 30 season. We're going to find out what the league thinks about him. We know what Adam Peters, well, we don't know, but we've heard what Adam Peters and company are starting these conversations at. Let's make someone put up or shut up. Hey, Terry, do you really believe you're worth this? Let's find out just how worth it you are. Who's going to put up a first round pick for you and who's offering you exactly what you're asking for contractually? If there is a list in line of teams doing so, Washington will either match the best offer or they will ship him to the highest bidder. Something tells me that that line of teams calling us for Terry McLaurin are not all offering first-round picks or the top of the market deal that Buddy Baker is wishing for his client. I don't know, man. Appreciate you, Billy Boy. Buddy Baker, Terry McLaurin is equivalent to Diddy public defense. Yo. Don't put Terry in no sentence with Sean Diddy Combs, man. But ultimately, if you're going to call him that, he did win. He's free of the RICO. So Diddy did win. Don't put Terry and Diddy in the same sentence. That's a nasty juxtaposition right there. AP smoking on that Buddy and Terry back tonight. Y'all crazy, man. I'm about to get out of here in a few. Did the Hall of Fame game start? Did we got any updates from the Hall of Fame game? I ain't even turn on the game, bro. When I tell you, I live not far from my gym. I walk to the gym every day. It's great exercise, and it's cardio day. I wasn't lifting a fucking weight today. My arms couldn't handle it. I ran off the treadmill at about 4.3 miles. I was trying to hit my 7. I do 7 miles 4 days a week and then walk the other days. I ran home so we could react as a family and in unison. And we finna do this again on Commanders Kings in a little bit. And speaking of Commanders Kings, we're doing our first live event on August 24th at 5 p.m. at Crystal City Sports Pub. That is Crystal City Sports Pub, not restaurant, not gentlemen's club. If you go to the wrong one, you're going to a titty bar. I promise you, there will be time to hit the titty bar right up the street after you come party with the Kings. Tickets are $45. We've already sold more than half of them. Pull up. Let's do a live pod together. Let's predict the final 53-man roster. Let's have some drinks. I don't drink. I'm going to drink with y'all that night. I'll do it because it's a special occasion. I don't fucking drink. I haven't been drinking in 11 months. But we're going to have a good time. Me, Louis T, Rico from Street Scores, Ed Oliver, and all of you that want to come party with the Kings. But let me get through these last supers and let me get out of here because we got to set up and get ready for our Commanders Kings stream. You always talk about us being late. I need to be on time so we can be on time. So at this point, all cards are on the table. Yep, we've seen the little joker. We've seen the big joker. We've seen all the twists and turns this could go. The only thing that we haven't seen is if they actually move on from Terry McLaurin. Who blinks first, Buddy or Peter? I would say it's Buddy. Because at the end of the day, this is what's going to fuck it up for Terry. Terry probably only sees this ending one way, and that's with him getting paid high dollar by somebody. Buddy Baker is going to fuck this up because he's going to end up settling for some dirt. Terry going to have to take like 27 and a half, 28 million because Buddy Baker's going to be like, fuck it. I need a win. I've never wrote a $28 million contract before. I need a win. And they can front load it and they can adjust his number for this year to give him a bump in pay raise so he's not going out there for peasant $23 million. It's crazy how professional athletes can talk about some of this money and scoff at and turn their nose up to shit like that. But they've afforded the right to do so by being professional athletes. So I digress. Yep. I imagine it's going to be Buddy Baker that ends up folding here because Buddy Baker doesn't have a track record of winning a negotiation. This feels very Hail Mary-ish, but we're going to see. Jerry Williams, I appreciate you for the $4.99. Stop listening to the sports junkies about 2 to 3 years ago. I'm like, no way these his Commanders fans was always hating. I used to listen to the sports junkies most of my life, and I think what they do is phenomenal entertainment especially for that early. Like if you work in the morning or you're on your way home in the morning because you work the graveyard shift, put on the Junkies because they're entertaining as hell. It's a bunch of friends that went to high school and college together that's been working together for over 30 years. They're an entertainment show. If you want to hear sports analysis, sports opinions, and actual things about sporting events, they're not the guys you want to talk to. If you want to hear about some degenerate shit and gambling and some funny bits and shit, sure. But I want to hear about a little bit more than that. They are not my forte anymore, and I don't listen to that bullshit. I only really listen to B. Mitch and Finley on 106, and I don't really listen to 106 anymore. I just listen to podcasts and content creators because the game has officially changed. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. I'm going to wrap this one up. We've been here for 94 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm going to take a peek at the Hall of Fame game, which is probably ass, by the way. I'm about to hit up Lou, Rico, and Ed. Be looking out for notification for the Commanders Kings channel. We're about to go live and have this same goddamn conversation over there. Smash the like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe button and hit the comment section. And cop them Commanders Kings live ticket and pull up with me and the guys. I will talk to y'all soon. Terry has requested a trade. AP, what we finna do next? You'll see next time on the Terry Mclaurin contract saga. Commander Rio, out.